elements in a book called the Blessing, and it was basically how to receive God's blessing in the family. And so we were asked to think of something from our own lives that how we receive God's blessings. And there were so many things that I could write about, but what I did is I wrote about an event that happened many times as a kid. When I was little, I was at a gas church in Chicago. I'd sit with my mom. There are people in the front, usually left side. Many of the people that are here today, I think, are from the area. And as the service would end, we had to say the benediction, and the sound man could be start walking down the aisle. And many times I would, in fact, almost every time there was a little kid, I would walk towards the center aisle, and as he walked by, he'd hold on his hand and pick my hand and I'd walk down the aisle with him. And then when we got down, he'd let me stand by him, and we'd shake hands with everybody. And it was neat because I think it started, I can't remember it, but I've got pictures of it, and it started long before I was able to walk, and my mom would hand me to him, and he told me as he walked down the aisle, and then we'd shake hands. And the neat part about it, the real neat part about it is that there was never a condition to it. He never said, Mark, you're supposed to go today, you left the TV on, you whatever. So you can't do this thing. It was simply, I was my father's son, and that gave me the right and the privilege to walk with him. And that was real neat because it really gave me a feeling of worth and of value. And to expand on that a little bit, it was my mom who sat next to me through the service. I don't know what would pinch me if I fell asleep. But again, that idea of actively going with me, and so many times you hear people about sending kids off to Sunday school or church and stay home. And I had parents that went with me and demonstrated by their own actions their love for God and their value to form that relationship. And to expand on it even further, there's many of you here today who were part of their growing up and help them grow in their relationship with God, and as well as family and the community, where as I was growing up and I was CKing now, our daughter, with the church that we go to now, and I see how the people come up and hold her and hug her and tell her that she's special. It brings back memories about how the people that are here from Trinity too were like that for me. Like my Boy Scout leaders here, my Cub Scout leader here, my kindergarten teachers here, and it can go on and on as far as those people that my parents had the good fortune to be in their presence. Share that with God. So I just want to thank you, Mom and Dad, for my upbringing and being the presence of all these family friends.
John over took you out on an overnighter, and you were in the Cub Scouts, and then you would be acolyting. I wasn't close enough to pinch you to keep you awake up there.
And always as her the oldest. And when we were growing up, I always thought it was neat to be the oldest, but I don't think that's it. I'm going to try to do this without getting teary-eyed, but I do get teary-eyed during Bell telephone commercials. Old father knows best free ones. So I don't think I'll do too well, but I wanted to start first by thanking them by bringing me to the Lord on my baptism. Uncle Louie there, he was my sponsor, and Bernice was my godmother. He was my godmother, and Bernice couldn't make it today, but they brought me to the Lord in baptism, and Dad still saved me the baptismal water. I have that at home, and it looks like it's evaporating. I don't know if that's any significance to that, but as the years are going on, it is going down, and I'm wondering when my life is over, is that water going to be gone too? But there's a lid on it, believe me, there's a lid on thank them for doing this. I came up with some memories that I had too, and wanted to thank them for that. After church, Dad would, I was his little, he called me, what did he used to call me, Dad? Your little, do you remember? Little deaconess. And since I was about 5 years old, later on I said he was brainwashing me. But he would call me his little deaconess, and I would go and help him with his books and put them in the right spot, take his sermon notes out. And it was always a thrill and to wait after church and come home with him. I always did that. And cleaned out the cabinets, always went home, put everything in the right spot. Well, right. Let's see, the next thing was Mom. I thought about how Mom made us all clothes. She was always sewing us clothes all the time. And I remember the clothes that she made when they were the same. Norma and I and Mom would wear the same dresses, and how proud I felt being the youngest to be dressed up like everybody else. And especially those sundresses with giant pockets that I wore to the Trinity Church picnic, and they had this one game where they threw peanuts, and I collected the most peanuts. Maybe that's why she made it, because she had this, knew we were going to play that game that day. I remember Dad always telling me Bible stories, and my favorite Bible story was Joseph. And he would tell me, I would sit on his lap in the living room, and he would tell me those stories, and those were always very special. When Heather grew up, her favorite story that he would tell her was Moses. Dad would say, let's go talk about Moses. I remember picnics on the lakefront. We would go down after church and pack a picnic and go down there and have a good time. Got some pictures from that, and that was always very special. I remember going to Springfield and visiting the relatives, going to Grandma and Aunt Louise's house, and Grandpa Meyer, and Aunt Bernice's house. Everybody would come over, Uncle Louie and Catherine would come over to Aunt Louise's house, and I remember falling asleep on someone's lap. They would talk so long into the evening, and I can remember how their voices would get more mellow and more quieter until I finally would fade off to sleep. But those were special times to know that all those people, we all had fellowship together and a good time. One story I thought about too was in church when I finally got to sit alone without Mom to pinch, to shove, to do whatever in church. And I sat, she let me sit a couple rows in front of her, which it was past the third row, I must have been right in front. But I had a purse that had a mirror in the flap. And I don't know what friend I was sitting with, but I opened up and looked at myself in the mirror. And then all of a sudden I thought, oh, that's a reflection. You know, I'm just shining all over the place. And Dad was in the pulpit preaching. And I'm shining this on the cross, and you know, this and that. And all of a sudden I went right in his eyes. And I remember he just stared right down at me, and I took that close and sat there. I don't think I sat alone for a few Sundays after that. Another thing too I remember, and that's from little and even to this day and this week, is how Mom and Dad, well, when we were younger and we would catch them in the hall, kissing and hugging each other in the hall with their arms around each other. I remember, especially as a teenager, we thought, oh, do you have to do this? You know, is this really necessary? And Dad would always respond with, you should be glad your mama and I love each other so much. And believe me, I am really glad that you have loved each other and that continue and love each other more today, right, than you did 50 years ago. And I am also thinking about how Dad, when he sang the Nunc Dimittis today at church, and Dad said for many years, because Mark was kind of slow in getting going with his life here, you know, and Dad would say, and Mom would say, nothing will make us happier than to have Norma happily married, Linda happily married, and Mark happily married. And when you three are happily married, I can sing the Nunc Dimittis. Lord, now let us down thy servants departed. And when Mark got married to Peggy, Dad wasn't ready to sing the Nunc Dimittis. You were ready, and we're glad that the Lord didn't think you were ready either, I guess. So we're glad, and I want to thank you very much for all the things you've done for me to help me make myself who I am. And I love you very much.
And I'm Norma, and they made me go last because they know I'm really going to go. But I'm going to try not to. I've been praying about this. That's okay. Lots of things. First of all, I really want to thank Mom and Dad for bringing me up in the knowledge of the Lord. But I know Him as my Savior. Yeah, start with that. I mean, this is the best gift any parent can give their children, is to bring them up in the knowledge of the Lord. I want to thank you for your constant example of love and respect that you have for each other. Because when I'm growing up, and I know how a husband should treat a wife and how a wife should treat a husband. And you gave me a good example, all of us good examples about how we should treat our husband, our should treat his wife, and I do thank you. I also say thank you for loving me in spite of me. Because I was probably the biggest stinker of the three. A lot of times. I really did. I would get mad about something, and I would just get this face on me, and I just wanted to stay mad. And don't let the sun go down. Your anger was a big Bible, was a very important Bible verse in our house. And I don't know, Dad, somehow they make me laugh. And I mean, no matter what you do, you have to end up smiling. You couldn't stay mad. They never went to bed mad. And to this day, I can't stay upset with my kids. We have to always make up. I mean, there's no way that I can let a time lapse. And I know that thanks to Mom and Dad. I appreciate that. I'm not doing too bad. Okay. I want to thank you for letting me eat all my food, making me eat all my food. I always would say the disciples are coming to clean up your plate. I guess they didn't want to have the 12 baskets. I don't know. But I thank you for teaching me not to be wasteful. And I really thank you for choosing each other. Okay, and just your love for each other. And I say thank you, Lord, that I'm a part of your family. I made it think.
We have one more song. It's the last song. And Norma wrote this, and you will all, yeah, the last song in your program, and you will sing the chorus with us, please. Does anyone else know Dunderbox in here besides Mom and Dad? I thought it was an Altamont song.
Dunderbox? Okay. To the tune of Dunderbox, but Dunderbox, nobody knows what Dunderbox is. It's a song about a man who invented a machine for grinding up sausage meat, but the only thing is they make sausage out of, not whole hog. It wasn't whole hog, it was out of rats and Maltese cats. Anyway, so we changed the words quite a bit. When you think you know, yeah, and do it, and you can do it with gusto.
Okay, let's do the chorus once, and then we'll go.
All right, so here's the chorus.
Ryan Kruger, oh Ryan Kruger, how could you be so smart to marry that girl named Norma who really stole your heart? 50 years have now gone
history, but I know you all know it already, so we don't need to do it. All right.
There was a young Zen student, his name was Reinhard Kruger. He met a fine young lady, her name was Norma Meyer. Although with girls he was quite shy, he had made up his mind. She was the right one for him, none better could he find. Oh, Reinhard Kruger, how could you be so smart to marry a girl named Norma Meyer who really stole your heart? 50 years and now the life in 1942, but the love you shared so long ago just grew and grew and grew. In Bethlehem, in Altamont, their wedding vows were spoken. Their promise to love and honor never would be broken. Their marriage was anchored to the Lord. They knew this was a must. So through all joy and sorrow, in Him they put their trust. Oh, Reinhard Kruger, how could you be so smart to marry that girl named Norma Meyer who really stole your heart? 50 years have now gone by since 1942, but the love you shared so long ago just grew and grew and grew. To Trinity, Chicago, they were off in a hurry. Reinhard was the pastor and Norma his secretary. Along came their 3 children, Norma, Linda, and Mark, a boy. Their family now complete was really quite a joy. Oh, Reinhard Kruger, how could you be so smart to marry that girl named Norma Meyer who really stole your heart? 50 years have now gone by since 1942, but the love you shared so long ago just grew and grew and grew. For 38 years they happily served Trinity congregation. When Reinhard did retire, they gently left their habitation. In Altamont they settled after much deliberation, and for them God created a wonderful new situation. Oh, Reinhard Kruger, how could you be so smart to marry that girl named Norma Meyer who really stole your heart? 50 years have now gone by since 1942, but the love you shared so long ago just grew and grew and grew. Their family tree keeps growing as the years go by. They started out as 2, and with 3 children that makes 5. When you add 7 grandchildren, sons, daughters, and daughter-in-law, that brings the family total up to 16 in all. Oh, Reinhard Kruger, how could you be so smart to marry that girl named Norma Meyer who really stole your heart? 50 years have now gone by since 1942, but the love you shared so long ago just grew and grew and grew. Reinhard and Norma are thankful to their very loving Lord for home and friends and family and blessings He afford. Now we just want to celebrate in a very special way the golden anniversary of their wedding day. Oh, Reinhard Kruger, how could you be so smart to marry that girl named Norma Meyer who really stole your heart? 50 years have now gone by since 1942, but the love you shared so long ago just grew and grew and grew.
This is the unprepared speech.
So he's prepared.
Thank you to everyone who has made this day very special for us. I want to express my thanks also to our son-in-law, Dr. Eric Stump, for his message this morning. We are grateful to the Lord for the 50 years Norma and I have shared together. For 38 years of serving the Lord in Trinity Congregation, Chicago brought us many joys and lasting friendships with the members of Trinity. some are here today. I'm thankful the Lord has granted me the opportunity to have served Him here in Altamont and the surrounding community these past 12 years with Norma's assistance. Last but certainly not least, we say thank you, Lord, for our two daughters, Norma and Linda, and our son Mark and their families. And hi, this week. Words cannot express what they all mean to us. And we say thank you to everyone of you who came here, and may God bless you all.
Well, we're just happy to see so many of you here. It means a lot to us that 20 members from our church up in Chicago are here with us, and many people from our community here in Altamont, not just from Emmanuel Church, but others also from the community have come here to wish us God's blessings. We appreciate that, and our thanks to each one of you, to all the relatives who come also, and many of the relatives are people in Trinity say, you're great to everyone here in Altamont, aren't you? Between the two of us, we do have a lot of relatives here. But anyway, thanks to everyone. May God bless you all.
Thank the ladies in the kitchen who really helped us. We could not have done any of this without you. Thank you very much. And yet, could you have a prayer and the benediction? Okay.
That doesn't mean everybody.
No, they don't have to get up and go.
Then you're supposed to eat and drink. Okay.
The Lord has been a wonderful time and occasion for us, for Norma and me to begin with, and for our family. We pray your continued blessing upon each one of us in our personal lives and in whatever work we're doing. We look forward to continued service in your kingdom. All of us do, and I know Norma and I do too. We want to continue to serve the Lord as much and as long as we can. God bless you all. Thank you all for coming and making this a happy occasion for all of us. We enjoyed it very much. And I, for one, as pastor, enjoyed being a pastor to so many people in this area. It's been a real pleasure, a real joy, and a real blessing. Thank you.